She introduced me to her family on the first date, and you won't believe what I said to them. Went on first date, met her family, insulted all of them cause I felt pressured. I joined website for dating to try and get more dates. That was my only intent. I've been working too much for 2 years at my new job. I just wanted to have more fun. I got an email and set up a date with this girl. It's my 5th date from the site, it's been fun. But this one girl was like one of those love at first sight moments when we met at a restaurant. I saw her and she was perfect. I tried to play it cool, but I felt like I could just cut ties with all the girls I've dated and just commit to her. Physically she was everything I could ever ask for and exactly my type. Her personality seemed about a 10/10. About 30 minutes into sitting down, we didn't even order cause we were just talking. The chemistry was as good as it was with my first love when I was 13. It was perfect, sparks were flying. I thought I was done and ready to commit here. But then she tells me to forget about ordering food, let's go somewhere else, and she has this idea. She won't say much and I like surprises, so I didn't ask much. We jumped in my car and drove to this restaurant about 20 minutes away, kind of out of town. It was halfway up a mountain near a ski resort. I'm familiar with the area, so no big deal. We walk in and her family is celebrating her aunt's birthday. There was only family and a lot of it, about 40 people. She introduces me and everybody was happy to meet me and real nice. Everybody also knew that she was out on a first date. They were asking her stuff like, is this the guy? Is this your date? Is this the one? All of a sudden I wasn't so cool and relaxed. I felt heavy pressure to be on my best behavior. It was high pressure to the 3rd degree. But everybody was nice, so that helped. We sat down and I started being questioned by her older sister, her aunt, and another lady that I forget her relation. To my date. The mom started kind of defending me and telling them to back off and let me eat. But the interrogating continued. After I don't know how long, they turned to my date and jokingly said we approve. Then I was able to kind of get my bearings about me for a minute. I was totally off balance all night, just tense. I was afraid the back of my shirt would get that a big wet spot cause I felt sweat on my back. So the sister brings her cute little girl and lets me hold her, and she and my date started taking pictures of me holding her, and somebody else's baby boy as well. I started to feel like the tone of it all was that we were a couple. I kind of felt like I was married to her and these nice people were my in-laws. After a couple of hours, probably closer to 3 hours, everybody was kind of tiring out and everything began to wind down. Keep in mind her car is still at the other restaurant down the hill. Then her dad suddenly asks me jokingly, what my intentions are with his daughter. Though I can't remember how he phrased the question. Everybody looked at the table, looked at me, which is about half the people there. I guess I was exhausted from all the questioning. I was questioned by multiple people, multiple times, and the pressure of it all caused I kind of lost it. He asked the question, I looked across the table at her, and she told her dad to stop it. Her dad smiles and jokingly says that he'd really like to hear my response, and her uncle also said he'd like to know. I looked at my date and said, can I talk to you alone for a minute? To which her dad laughs loudly and then says I made him nervous. So everybody is laughing now and I guess it was a big joke. Then I said to my date, hey, can I talk to you alone for a minute? I stood up in place, kind of. It was one of those long bench seats and I couldn't push it back cause other people were sitting on it. Then her sister says, oh, there are no secrets in this family, speak your mind. People then laugh. Again and everybody starts making jokes about not having secrets, and this man who married into the family somehow tells me that he remembers being in my place and he says, let me give you some advice, the best thing to do right now is speak your mind and be honest. Then others join in and echo his sentiment, all jokingly I think. So I looked at my date and she says something like, you can tell me anything here, we're all family. She also I think was joking. But I had started to lose my ability to tell when people were joking and when they were serious. So the dad says, wait, I haven't gotten an answer to my question. So finally I speak directly to the dad and say, I'd like to discuss that with her first. But I regretfully laughed as I said it. So her dad says, I asked you first, I want to know. I turn to my date and she says something like, go ahead, you can tell me, I'm a big girl, I can handle it. So I said okay, and sat down, then took a couple of breaths while her dad kind of quieted everybody down. I started with I think I made a huge mistake. It all spiraled down from there. I said harsh things like that I felt like I was having a bad dream where I was suddenly married. I questioned her intentions in bringing me there. I said stuff like, what were you thinking? Yes, I liked you, but I just met you, and right now I know your aunt. I pointed at her sitting next to me, better than I know you. I think she was humiliated, but I couldn't stop. The more I spoke, the more bad stuff came out. Total effing tailspin. I said I want to find someone special, but I don't want to skip the first 29 dates and skip to date 30, which is what I'd done that night. Then people started interrupting and chiming in and suggesting that she and I slow down and have a real first date. I wasn't having it, I was out of control. I said, no, it's too late for that, I feel robbed here. I wanted to meet this girl, get to know her, date her, and maybe fall for her, but now it's like, we're engaged and her whole family is here and there are all these expectations. We skipped the getting to know each other and dating part, so I feel robbed. Then I said yet another thing I regret. I said it's a huge red flag that I asked for a minute alone with you to talk, and this is what I got instead. I added something like you're all great and a great family, but the lack of certain boundaries is a huge red flag for me. I would never let my relationship become family business. My date interrupts me at this point and says, okay, so let's talk in private, let's go outside and talk. I'm sorry I didn't give you that minute, let's go outside and talk privately, I'll give you all night. She was visibly shaken and I could tell tears were inevitable. I stood up again and realizing that I had insulted all of them, I just quietly walked out. I felt really bad cause they were all nice and had nothing but the best intentions for me. They love her, and they were literally telling me that I was good enough, which should have been a compliment, but I somehow took it the wrong way and spat in their face. I didn't even drink. We walked out and I let her have it again. She's now sobbing uncontrollably. She apologized and pretty much begged for us to start over, and I told her I wasn't into it, and then I left her there. I drove home and couldn't help but wonder if I overreacted. I couldn't sleep and I woke up this morning feeling like I probably did overreact, and now I feel like poop. But it's done, I can't undo it. Or can I?